Welcome to this deep dive. And today we'll be exploring how AI could revolutionize how we learn and teach.
Yeah.
Our guide today is this essay, AI in Education, Future Implications.
Right.
We're going to be uncovering some seriously exciting possibilities here, like AI tutors that can adapt to your learning style.
Yeah, and even break down some barriers to education.
Exactly.
It really is fascinating to think about how technology can personalize education and
Yeah,
create these opportunities for so many more students.
for sure. The essay starts off by talking about personalized learning.
Yeah.
This is where things get super interesting. Imagine learning that's tailored to your specific needs and your pace instead of that one-size-fits-all model.
AI can actually make that a reality.
Wow, really?
Yeah. So the essay describes how AI can analyze a student's responses, the time they spend on different tasks, even their facial expressions to gauge their understanding, and then use that data to create a custom learning plan for them.
So like a personal tutor.
Exactly.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it knows exactly what you need to work on and provides resources just for you.
Are there any platforms that are already doing this?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
The essay mentions Dreambox.
Okay, I've heard of that one.
It's an online math learning platform, and it's a prime example. Their AI engine analyzes each student's problem-solving strategies
In real time.
in real time. Yeah, and if a student's struggling with a certain concept, Dreambox will adjust the difficulty level and provide targeted support.
So it's not even just about getting the right answer.
Right.
It's about understanding how you got there.
Exactly.
Okay. The essay also mentioned Khan Academy.
Yes.
How are they using AI?
Well, Khan Academy uses it to personalize practice recommendations
Yep.
and identify areas where a student might need some more help. What's interesting about both platforms is that they're not just about static content. They're constantly evolving based on the learner.
Right, they're adapting.
Exactly.
And that makes so much sense.
Hmm.
The essay also highlighted how AI could potentially make education more accessible, especially for students with disabilities or different languages.
For sure.
What did it say about that?
Well, AI-powered tools like text-to-speech, speech-to-text real-time translation,
Oh, wow.
those can be game changers.
Yeah.
Imagine a student with a visual impairment using an AI-powered screen reader to access textbooks,
Right.
or a student who speaks another language at home getting instant translations during a lecture.
That's incredible.
It could really open up a lot of doors.
For sure, it seems like online learning platforms are also expanding access to education, especially for those in underserved communities.
Absolutely.
The essay mentioned Coursera and edX.
Yeah.
What's their approach?
Well, they leverage AI to personalize learning recommendations and connect students with mentors and peers from all over the world.
Oh, wow.
It creates this global classroom.
So location isn't a barrier.
Exactly.
That's really cool. It really does feel like AI is making education available to everyone.
Democratizing education.
Yeah, exactly. But the essay did caution about a digital divide.
Right.
What does that mean?
It's a good point. If access to technology and training isn't equitable, AI could actually widen the gap.
Between the haves and the have-nots.
Yeah, those who have resources and those who don't.
It seems like it's really crucial to make sure that everyone has the tools and skills
Yeah,
to keep up in this AI-powered world.
absolutely.
But how do we make that happen?
That's the question, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's going to take a multifaceted approach. That's for sure. Investments in infrastructure, digital literacy programs, and really thoughtful policies that promote equitable access.
That's a tall order,
It is.
but incredibly important
Yeah,
if we want to make sure that everyone benefits
Mm.
from these advancements.
for sure.
Sounds like a big challenge, but also a huge opportunity to make education fair for everyone.
Yeah, definitely.
The essay also talked about how teachers' roles will evolve in this future with AI.
Right.
I think some people are worried that teachers will be replaced altogether by AI.
Yeah, that's a worry a lot of people have. But the essay actually says that AI will change the role of teachers, not eliminate it completely.
Okay.
Think about it this way. AI can take care of all the admin stuff, like grading,
Right.
and it can personalize learning materials for each student.
Yeah, that would free up so much time for teachers to do what they're best at, like mentoring, inspiring, and fostering those critical thinking skills that are going to be so important moving forward.
Exactly. The essay sees AI as a tool that can make teachers even better at what they do.
So teachers will need to adapt and learn new skills to stay ahead of the curve, right?
Oh, for sure. The essay emphasizes that teachers need professional development to learn how to integrate AI tools into their teaching. It's more about collaboration than competition.
Right, so it's not AI versus teachers, it's AI and teachers working as a team.
Exactly. A team to create a better learning experience.
That makes a lot of sense. The essay also talked about how AI is changing the skills that students need to succeed in the workforce.
Hmm.
What were some of the key takeaways there?
Well, the essay highlights problem-solving, adaptability, and digital proficiency as essential skills for an AI-driven world.
It seems like those skills are already in high demand and they're only going to get more important as automation changes things up.
Right.
So can AI actually help students learn these skills?
Yeah, that's one of the exciting things about it. The essay describes how AI can power these immersive learning experiences like simulations and virtual reality,
Oh,
where
cool.
students can work on their problem solving and critical thinking in a really hands-on way.
So like taking gamification up a notch.
Exactly.
That's awesome.
Mm.
The essay also mentioned lifelong learning and how AI could give people more flexible, on-demand learning opportunities no matter their age or background.
Yeah.
Why is that becoming so important now?
Well, in a world where jobs are changing so rapidly, it's essential to be able to keep learning and adapting.
Oh.
And AI can help make that happen.
So it's like having a personal learning buddy with you your entire life. That's awesome.
Yeah.
But the essay also said there are some potential risks with AI in education, right?
Of course, any new technology has the potential for downsides.
Right, of course.
One concern the essay brought up is that people might rely too heavily on AI.
Okay.
We don't want students to become so dependent on technology that they can't think for themselves or solve problems on their own.
Right, we need to find that balance.
Exactly.
We already talked about the digital divide and making sure everyone has equal access.
Hmm.
Are there any other downsides we should be thinking about?
Well, the essay mentions that AI could worsen existing inequalities if we're not careful.
How so?
Like if AI-powered systems are mostly trained on data from students with a lot of advantages, then they might not work as well for students from different backgrounds.
That's a good point. We need to make sure that AI systems are fair and don't favor certain groups over others.
Definitely, the essay really stresses that we need to address these challenges head on and make sure that AI in education is used for good.
So how can we do that? How can we reduce these risks and make sure AI is used responsibly?
Well, the essay says it takes a multifaceted approach, starting with policy frameworks.
So the government needs to set some guidelines and regulations for AI in education.
Yeah, basically to make sure that these systems are designed and used in a transparent and accountable way.
That makes sense. The essay also mentioned public-private partnerships.
Right.
What would that look like when it comes to AI and education?
It's all about encouraging collaboration between schools, tech companies, and policymakers.
To make sure everyone's on the same page.
Exactly, and making sure that AI is actually serving the needs of students and teachers.
Sounds like it's going to take all of us working together.
It will.
The essay also emphasized community involvement, right?
Absolutely. We need to include students, parents, teachers, and the whole community in discussions about AI and education.
To get everyone's perspective.
Exactly, and make sure that AI is aligned with the values and priorities of the people it's supposed to be helping.
It's a complicated issue, but one we definitely need to be talking about.
Yeah, it's complex, but it's a conversation we need to have if we want AI to be a positive force in education.
Yeah. It really does feel like we're at a turning point. AI has the potential to change education as we know it, but we need to be smart about how we approach it.
Absolutely. It's definitely both exciting and kind of scary at the same time.
Yeah?
I mean, like we've been talking about, there were just so many things to consider: access ethics, the changing roles of teachers and students.
Hearing you talk about those AI-powered learning platforms,
Yeah.
it made me think about my own education. Like I can only imagine how different things would have been if I had access to personalized learning and instant feedback.
That's so interesting to think about, isn't it? Like those late night study sessions might have been a lot more productive.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But then it also makes me wonder if I would have missed out on something.
Ah.
Like those moments when you're struggling to figure something out by yourself. Or that feeling when you finally get a concept that was really hard for you. Those were all part of learning too.
That's such a good point. I think it's really all about balance, using AI to our advantage,
Yeah.
but also holding on to those core parts of learning that involve human connection challenges and those aha moments.
I think the essay really drove that point home,
Mm-hmm.
that AI should enhance education, not completely replace those human elements.
Exactly. We don't want to end up in a world where robots are the only teachers.
Right.
It's about finding ways for AI and educators to work together.
To create the best possible learning experience for students.
For sure.
As we wrap up this deep dive, I'm feeling kind of optimistic and cautious at the same time.
Yeah.
Like, AI could really revolutionize education.
Right.
But it's up to all of us to make sure that it benefits everyone.
That's exactly it. It's both a challenge and an opportunity. We
Yes.
have the power to shape how AI is used in education moving forward.
So as we finish up here, what's the main takeaway for you?
I think the biggest thing for me is remembering that the future of education isn't set in stone. It's something that we create through the choices we make and the actions we take.
This whole deep dive has been about exploring the potential of AI in education and the challenges that come with it. So now it's time to shift from exploring to actually doing something.
Mm.
So what about you, listener? What are your thoughts on AI and education? How do you see it shaping the future, and what role do you want to play in making sure it's a positive force?
I really hope this conversation has made you curious and given you some things to think about. Remember, every voice matters when it comes to shaping the future of learning.